Thank you for joining us today on Earth File. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. Already the 7th largest country by population in the world, Nigeria is on track to be the 3rd largest by 2050, with nearly as big a population as the United States. Nigeria's total fertility rate is a high 5.5 children per woman. As the population is increasing, so also are the economic and social needs. Housing is a big challenge, and affordable housing is still a dream, but is it achievable? Today we'll be talking about the growing population and the problems of housing on the program. Do stay with us. Sheltering under wood planks on a boat moored at a waterside slum in the Nigerian megacity, Lagos. Fisherman Thompson Pascal has only this to protect his children from the elements. He is one of 30,000 residents who have been living in boats, shacks, or in the open since bulldozers escorted by policemen destroyed their slum dwellings as competition for building land heats up in Nigeria's booming commercial capital.
Where we are now is not our house. We don't have anywhere else to go to. We don't know where to move from here, and that is why we moved to this place. I sleep in this boat. I don't have a roof over my head. I sleep in this boat with my family. If it rains, it will fall on us, same as when the sun is out. We don't have anywhere else to go. This is the tarpaulin we use as our shield anytime it rains. I put my children and my wife in it. We don't always get a place to sleep.
Zacchaeus Loco, who shares some planks of wood over the water with his wife and 7 children, says he is unable to provide for his family because he lost everything in the demolition.
I go out fishing to take care of my wife and children. When the government came, they burnt my house, my boat and machine and net. I have nothing except these clothes on me.
As with most things in Lagos, the housing problem is magnified by the sheer size and energy of Nigeria's megacity. Space is scarce, a high birth rate, and the arrival of thousands of people every day from all over the country looking for work. The Lagos state government said it had evicted the fishing community from the Lekki Peninsula because their slum was a hideout for kidnappers and posed a risk to public health. Unfortunately, those evicted ended up in another slum in Lagos, where locals, struggling themselves to survive amid recession, don't want competition. Here, the new arrivals are not allowed to fish.
We are too many now. For instance, 12 to 15 people sleeping in a small room apartment is too much. Our rooms are not so big. I and other community leaders held a meeting which was based on this issue. If the government says they are not ready to relocate the refugees in my community and time is not given for their relocation, we shall have no other choice than to chase them away from our community.
Nigeria's population is set to nearly double to 400 million by 2050, making it the 3rd most populous country after China and India. That's according to the United Nations estimates. To cope, Nigeria will need to double the number of schools, hospitals, or roads. Some believe this is an illusion given dwindling oil revenues, which make up 70% of state income. The acting president signed the delayed 2017 budget into law on Monday, the 12th of June 2017. The record 7.44 trillion naira budget is christened Budget of Economic Recovery and Growth, which the government says reflects its commitment to ensure strong linkage between the medium-term economic recovery and growth plan. Nigeria is facing its biggest economic crisis for years after oil revenues, which make up about 70% of national income, slumped along with global crude prices. The government plans to spend more on capital expenditures, but many have warned that with the population growing annually by 3.2%, the highest in Africa, any plans for new roads get immediately outdated. That can be seen in the megacity Lagos, home to about 23 million, which adds every day several thousands of residents, babies, or people from other parts of the vast country seeking work. Most newcomers end up in slum-like districts on the mainland, where makeshift houses stretch for kilometers on narrow dirt tracks. Public transport, schools and hospitals are unable to serve all residents, a picture similar in most cities. In Lagos alone, the government needs to spend about $50 billion in the next 5 years on infrastructure. That is according to the State Commissioner for Budget and Planning.
Annual budget, I think this year is just roughly about over $3 billion. So you can see that we need more collaboration. We need to really explore more the public-private partnership. We also need to increase our revenue base, bring more people into the task net so that we can even have more fund. But more importantly is that aspect of the public-private partnership that we are really looking towards